Hi everyone, it's me, Lubna. Today is Saturday, December 7th, 2024. This video is dedicated to my beloved, and the topic of this video is going to be about something called the poignancy of transience. And this term is something that I came across while listening to an audio recording of a lecture given by the psychologist Rollo May in 1981. And the title of this lecture was The Crisis of Freedom, and it is available here on YouTube in 2 parts in case you're interested in listening to it yourself. But in that lecture, Rollo May brought up this term, the poignancy of transience, and he described it as a sweet sadness associated with knowledge of the ephemeral nature of all things and people. So before I go into further detail about this topic, I wanted to share with you today another journal entry from the journal that I'm currently working on, which is this one. And what I'm going to read to you today from my journal is something that I wrote a few days ago. And before I do so, I'm going to show it to you. So it's that page right there. And I'll read that aloud to you now. Here it goes. Our time is always running out. The cycle of life is pervasive throughout nature. Each of us is like a flower that blooms and grows and ultimately withers away. What matters is what we do with the short time that we have here. There is a beautiful 1648 poem by the English Cavalier poet Robert Herrick that expresses this idea well. Here it is. Gather ye rosebuds while ye may, old time is still a-flying, and this same flower that smiles today, tomorrow will be dying. The glorious lamp of heaven, the sun, the higher he's a-getting, the sooner will his race be run, and nearer he's to setting. That age is best which is the first, when youth and blood are warmer. But being spent the worse and worst, times still succeed the former. Then be not coy, but use your time, and while ye may go merry, for having lost but once your prime, you may forever tarry. The lesson to be learned here is that we must make the most of every moment. We must work, love, and think passionately and deeply. In his 1981 lecture on the crisis of freedom, the psychologist Rollo May stated, "The ever-present possibility of death is what makes passionate love possible." Even now, after having written this page, I see how the angle of the sun shining through my blinds has changed. I am acutely aware of the passage of time. So that is the journal entry that I wanted to share with you today from my journal. And as I wrote near the end of that page that I just shared with you, Rollo May said, in the lecture that I was speaking of, the ever-present possibility of death is what makes passionate love possible. And this doesn't just have to do with loving another person or loving other people. It also has to do with our pursuits in life. If we have a dream or a goal, and if we want to devote ourselves to that, we should do so wholeheartedly, like I said in my previous video before this one about wholeheartedness. We should throw ourselves completely into that dream or goal. Give it our all. Be passionate. And this idea of the ever-present possibility of death, the fact that we are all going to die someday, that we have a limited amount of time here on this earth to fulfill our purpose and to make our dreams come true, is truly a source of inspiration and motivation. Some might say it's a bit morbid, but I believe that thinking about death and the fact that we are going to die one day is a good source of motivation for us to take action today and to take action now to fulfill our goals and to go after our dreams, no matter how seemingly impossible they may be. And also, the ever-present possibility of death is what motivates us to show more love to the people that we love. When you look at somebody that you love and you realize that one day you're going to have to say goodbye to them, and you don't know when that day is going to come, it is very inspiring because it makes you realize how valuable your time with that person is. Even right now, the fact that you're able to watch my YouTube video and receive this message from me is special because one day I'm not going to be here anymore and I'm not going to share any more messages, and all that is going to be left is all of the videos that I've already shared and everything that I've said so far. And after that, after I'm gone, there will be no more production of these ideas and the videos that I share. And it is a very emotional thing for me. And this is something that inspires me and motivates me every single day to share my ideas and to share my thoughts and to make them permanent in a way through my writings, through my journals, through my videos, because one day I'm not going to be here anymore and neither will you. So before ending this video, I wanted to share with you 3 things that I have heard my mother say in Bengali, which is my family's language. And these 3 things relate to the idea of the ever-present possibility of death and the poignancy of transience. So the first thing that she has said is, "Ei dinta ar āsabē na," and that means in English, this day will never come again. And another thing that I have heard my mother say is, "Jībana khub chōṭa," and that means this life is very short. And the last thing that I've heard my mother say is the following: "Amra shobai ekdin more jabo," and that means that we're all going to die one day. So by sharing those 3 phrases with you, as well as my journal entry and the idea of the poignancy of transience that was brought up in Rollo May's 1981 lecture, I wanted to inspire you to think more deeply about your own ephemeral nature and the fact that one day you're not going to be here anymore. So you should be more passionate about everything you do and go after your dreams, your seemingly impossible dreams that perhaps nobody else believes in, but go after them anyway, because this is your life and one day you won't be able to go after those dreams anymore. I hope that you've learned something very valuable from my video today. I hope that it has inspired you and that it has touched you deeply. Thank you so much, as always, for taking the time to listen and or watch my video today. And with that, I'd like to wish you a wonderful day, afternoon, evening, or whatever it is, wherever you are in the world.